On the left, I have a classic Marseille deck. This is put out by US Games. It's the CBD Tarot of Marseille. Okay, this is a very nice deck. It has very sharp lines and great coloring. So it's a very nice deck. On the right, I have another famous deck, but some of you may not be as familiar with this one. It's a 1JJ Swiss Tarot, put out by a company called AGM. Okay, and this deck was originally produced around the 1830s. Okay, so it came out after Marseille. It did have its roots in Marseille cards, however, as you'll see in the artwork. And the 1JJ Swiss, the one stands for a product number, in this case, product number 1. And the JJ stand for Juno and Jupiter. And those are two Roman gods. And what they did is, due to religious sensitivities around the early to mid 1800s, some church people were offended that there would be a high priestess and a hierophant or pope card in a deck used for divination. So the tarot was beginning to be used for divination more around that time period, and some church people were offended. So they removed the high priestess and replaced her with Juno, which is the female counterpart of Jupiter, who replaced the Pope or the Hierophant in the cards. So that's just a basic little bit of tidbit information there for you. Now, card-wise, these are both smaller. This particular Marseille is a bit smaller than a standard tarot card, just a little bit more narrow, whereas the 1JJ Swiss is even smaller still, a little bit shorter and not even as wide as the Marseille, but there are all kinds of sizes in Marseille, so I'm just talking about the AGM product here. Well, let's look at the backs of the cards. They have a nice plaid back, and the other back's pretty neat too. I like both of them. Okay, well, let's begin. Let's get into it. Okay, our first card is the Fool. Okay, adjuster cap on the 1JJ Swiss. Very nice. Very beautiful coloring too on this AGM deck here. Vibrant reds and blues and yellows. Really good. Okay, next we move on to the Magician. And we have basic magicians here on both these. On some early cards, the magician was known as a juggler or an entertainer even. Visconti, he was like an entertainer. But here we see pretty much all the implements of the four suits here, I believe. Well, I see a wand, a cup, and I don't see a pentacle. But we have balls, so maybe this guy was more of an entertainer. He had the cup and balls routine there. Okay, next move on to Juno. Okay, this is Juno. Replace the high priestess, and again, very vibrant coloring here, and I love the peacock at the bottom there. So that is the replacement for the high priestess, Juno, or Junon, if you don't want to say it with an English pronunciation. Okay, next we have the Empress. And we have the Emperor. And our next replacement card is Jupiter, the male counterpart to Juno. Okay. So love the eagle. And very classy. Very nice. Okay, now we move into just regular cards here. No more changes coming up. Okay, we got the Lovers. And the Chariot. I like how they divvy up the card here. They have a separate picture at the bottom and then a different one at the top here. It's pretty cool the way they did that. Comes up on a couple of cards too. Okay, Justice comes in at number 8 on both decks. And we have the Hermit. And the Wheel. We have Strength at number 11 on both decks. The Hanged Man. I like some of the details on the 1JJ, like look how his head is just turned a little bit while he's hanging there. It's things like that that make an impact on the artwork. Okay, we have 2 death cards, one facing right, one facing left. Okay, Temperance. The Devil. I'll put a link in the description below if you're interested in this AGM deck. I'll put a link if you're. It's about $20 plus tax, free shipping from Europe. Okay, here we have the Devil. I like this Devil here. Kind of sinister, but I like the shading. I like his pitchfork, his tail. And just an interesting Devil card, I think. Okay, the Tower. On the 1JJ, we see somebody's already impacted the ground. And on the Marseille here, we see that they're still following, both of them. Okay, we have the Star. The Moon. And here we see another divvying up of the imagery. We have a bottom section, we have a top section here. It's kind of interesting. I've seen that in other decks though. And the Sun. Judgment. And the World. Okay, I'm going to speed things up through the pips a little bit so it doesn't drag out too long here. Ace of Wands coming up. The 2. The 3. The 4. The 5. 6 of Wands. 7. 8. 9. 10. These cards seem to have a mind of their own. They're sliding around on me. I sure my desk is level, but they just kind of slippery. Okay, we got our Page. And the Knight. The Queen. And the King. Stately King here on our right. One thing I don't care for on Marseille, the characters appear cartoonish. And I know a lot of wood block printing was going on and all that stuff. But, oh, these are spectacular Ace of Cups, both of them. Okay. The 2. The 3. The 4. The 5. 6. 7. 8. The 9 of Cups. And the 10. Hey, our page. The Knight. The Queen. And the King. I love that little table he's got there. Okay, moving on to pentacles, or coins rather, for these decks. This is our ace. And here's the 2 with all the pertinent information. Okay, the 2. The 3. 4. 5. 6. The 7 of coins. And the 8. The 9. And the 10. Okay, coming up on the page here. The Knight. The Queen. And the King. And moving on to swords, our ace. The 2. The 3. The 4. The 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Okay, the Page of Swords. The Knight. The Queen. And wrapping it up, the King of Swords. Well, I haven't seen a lot of comparison videos of these two decks side by side, so I thought I would produce one, get it out there so people could look at them and see them. But they're both nice decks. I'm not a big Marseille fan, so I really do appreciate the one JJ Swiss for a nice change from a typical Marseille. But anyways, well, I hope you've appreciated this and enjoyed it. And thanks so much for watching.